What up, free bro? What up, Salvation. Hey, you got many minds. You think about salvation, get the dance. In my flesh vein, it's my heart not trouble, I won't pain. We trust in Abba, he the one that kill your problems. We thanking Abba, now we know about that lava. These streets of gold, walking on that road, I can't sell my soul. Hell no, I'ma be the light everywhere I go. Ain't no vaccine up in the temple. The devil know that the most I dwelling in you. They trying to shoot you up, that should really offend you.
My cry for mercy as I call on you for help, as I lift up my hands towards your most holy place. I just wanna be worthy. I just wanna be
Shabbat Shalawam, Shabbat Shalawam. All praises be to the Most High, the water for being here. Once again, all praises be to the Most High, the Ancient of Days, the giver of life, the taker of life, our Father, YAHAWAH, and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushai. Shalawam, peace and blessings. Shabbat Shalawam to all of the Ahchwathyam, all of the Ahchyam, the brothers and sisters scattered to the four corners of the earth. If you could do the ministry a favor, please hit that subscribe, that bell so you can get the notification, hit the like button, and only if you believe this message is edifying, please share this message with other brothers and sisters. We got a good one here today. As people are tuning in, I want to play a short little video as people are still coming into the chat, still coming into the lesson. We got a good one here today, a real good one. But before we dive into this water, I want to play this short video. Make sure you pay attention because it has a lot to do with the lesson today and things that we go through in general. Things that we go through in general. Like I said, let's give all praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Most High. Listen, we got Jason Moore 77 in the building already. He said Shabbat Shalawam, all praises, the water for being here, Jason Moore 77. We also have Big Bam Campbell in the building. He said you muted, big bro. Am I muted? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me if I'm coming through now, because I don't have a mute on. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not muted. Okay, so you good. Maybe it's on your side, Big Bam Campbell. Jason Moore 77 said I'm good. But listen, let me play this short video and then we're going to dive into the scriptures. Once again, the water for all y'all being here. And we're just going to let it see if some more brothers and sisters going to join us. And then we're going to dive into these scriptures. Let me play this video real quick. Here we go. Remember, listen to what's being said.
They say I lost everything, but they don't know what I gained. Let's talk. Yeah. Lost my wife, lost my kids, lost the crib. Bank account zeroed out. Yeah, it did. Credit shot. Phone ring stress every day. Doctor talking like my health, my faith. Friend disappeared when the bread ran low. Land gone through, yeah, the soil I know. Sleeping nights, tears falling prayer. Only thing left with the most high there. Stripped down bed, couldn't hide no pride. When he took it all, yeah, he stood me aside. Thought I was cursed, thought I took a feet. Didn't know Lord with the seat of my feet. They call me lost, but I found his face. Lost the world, gained amazing grace. What I dropped made room for him. When I lost it all, that when I win. They say I'm broke, say I took some losses. But I'm rich in faith, count no losses. I lost a lie, I gained the truth. They call it loss, I call it proof. Yeah, lost comfort, lost that ease, lost fake love, lost false peace, lost the hustle that fed my sin. Lost my plans and had to let him in. When the prop fell, I stood alone. He rebuilt me bone by bone. Learn obedience in the pain. Learn real profit don't come from gain. Every tear water, faith inside. Every no push me closer line. They seen failure, I seen correction. Losing, stripping for resurrection. Resurrection. They call me lost, but I found his face. Lost the world, gained amazing grace. What I dropped made room for him. When I lost it all, that's when I win. They say I'm broke, say I took them lost. But I'm rich in faith, count no loss. I lost a lot, I gained the truth. They call it loss, I call it proof. Jah lost it all, but still stood tall. Daniel prayed when they built that wall. Israel fell just to rise again. Refined in fire, not punishment. What he takes, he replaces better. Eternal weight over things that weather. If he stripped me, it was love. Teaching me to look above. Now I walk light and no chains on me. No white or left, just clarity. Hell still healing, pocket still thin. But my spirit strong, yeah, I'm locked in. I lost fear, I lost doubt. Lost the need for cloud and crowds. Gain wisdom, gain discernment, gain patience, gain endurance. What I lost couldn't save my soul. What I gained, give myself control. So what is the cost to wear that crown? Let me lose it all right now. Call me lost, but I found my place. In his will, in his grace. Lost the world, gained my life. Lost my will, gained his sight. I'm not broken, I'm reforged. Love made room for the Lord. They call it loss, I testify. I didn't lose, I multiplied.
Sometimes God got to take everything so you can finally receive something real.
Con. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will play it again at the end of the lesson. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed that. The link for that is in the description box. If you like the song, once again, the link is in the description box. So if you enjoyed it, all you got to do is go to the description box, hit the link, and you can have it for yourself. Before we go and dive into the scriptures, let me make sure once again, the Ox said he got it now. So you good now, Big Bam Campbell? Okay, Con. And then Jason Moore says, Shalawam says, Con. Okay, cool. Everybody's good. Big Bam Campbell says, happy Sabbath gang. Con. What's that? SALA? You from Louisiana or something? Not sure. Salat? Okay, Salat. Con. Jason Moore said, Con. Okay, let's get into these scriptures. Like I always say, if you want me to bring something out in these scriptures, in the epistles, in the Bible, put it in the chat and we'll go to it. We're going to start off right here in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 1. Now, we know what the lesson is about today. What does it mean to submit basically to the Most High Yahawah, right? What does it mean to submit to him and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahawashi? Huh? Texas in the building. Okay, Texas in the building. You know, we got Baltimore in the building, Texas in the building. Chapter man is usually in here. He from Tennessee. So, like I say, we scattered to the four corners of the earth, man. We everywhere. One day, Yahawah willing, we gonna all have to get together. You know, Yahawah willing, maybe we can plan some one day that all of the Ahchyam and all of the brothers and sisters can come together so we can break bread one day. That would be beautiful. Yeah. Huh?
From the book of Maccabees.
From the book of Maccabees. Con. All praises. Here we go. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments. For length of days, long life, and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them upon thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High and man. Verse 5. Trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. That's how we going to bust it wide open today. So this whole day and this whole lesson is going to be about submitting to the Most High Yahweh. Now, what is one of the greatest submissions in here? Is many of them. It's many of them. But one we've been talking about for the last couple of Shabbats, we've been bringing up. And I was thinking, like, let's go into it a little bit. Let's read a little bit of it. We spoke about it a few times, but let's actually go into it. So our father Abraham, let's go to there. Genesis chapter 22. Turn with me to Genesis chapter 22. Because Abraham, he was like 90-something years old. His wife Sarah was like 90-something years old. And they got promised that they was going to have a child, you know, at such an old age. Abraham didn't have any children before Sarah gave him basically her handmaid, right? Her servant. And then he had one child. But it wasn't with his initial wife, Sarah, who he really loved, you know. So, yeah, it was cool. But even with the Most High, he said that was a child of the flesh, you know, and Isaac was going to be a child of what? The what? Promise. So let's get into it a little bit. Genesis chapter 22. And I'm going to start at verse 1, right? So all those should know the story of how Sarah got promised to have the child, Abraham. So here we are now, right? The child is born. Here it is, 22:1. And it came to pass after these things that the Most High did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, behold, here am I. And he said, take now thy son, thy only son. Now, that's crazy because did not Abraham have another son? Did he have another son by now? Because the other son was born first, correct? By Hagar. But the Most High said, take now thy son, thy only son, Isaac, the way he put it. To me, you only got one son because that other child was born out of the flesh. It wasn't born through the spirit. It wasn't born through the Rakah in the Hebrew. Whom thou lovest. And sometimes that happened with people. They have children, you know, and out of those children that they have, 2, 3, 5, 6, they're going to have one that they really love, you know. The other ones, maybe not so much, but that's how it be. Even with the Most High, he has children, but he chose who? A special nation of people that he chose to be his, which are the children of Israel. Nobody can knock that because even the Most High did that. He created all of us, but yeah, he chose one. Anyway, it says, take now thy son, thy only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him therefore for a burnt offering upon the mountains, which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and a cleave of wood for burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place which the Most High had told him. Then on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. Verse 5, and Abraham said unto his young man, abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and the lad, and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac asked his dad, he spake unto Abraham his father and said, Father. And he said, here I am, my son. And he said, behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? So Isaac had no idea that his father was finna sacrifice him and kill him. As we know, Sarah had no idea. Not even his servants that he took with him, the two young men that he told him to wait. And me and my son, we're going to go a little further. You guys stay here, and when we finish, we'll come back. They didn't even know. So nobody knew except Abraham. He didn't share this information with anyone. He kept it to himself. But look how wise his son is. His son is like, well, wait a minute, Dad. We have everything we need but the lamb. It dawned on him, we have everything but not the lamb. Like, where is the sacrifice, Dad? And Abraham said, my son, the Most High will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together, showing you that Isaac at this time as a young boy, he had faith. Not only did he have faith in the Most High, he had faith in what his dad said. Pops told him, hey, the Most High is going to provide. So he like, okay, if you say the Most High going to provide, then the Most High is going to provide. And they continued on their journey. Verse 9. And they came to the place which the Most High had told of him, and Abraham built an altar there and laid wood in the order and bound Isaac, his son. So now he's tying Isaac up. I can just imagine, I wonder what was going through Isaac's mind, knowing that there was no sacrifice, knowing that there was no lamb, and now we get to the place and my father is tying me up. My dad is basically putting my hands behind my back, tying them in a knot, tying my legs. I just wish I knew what was going through his mind at that time. And laid him on the altar upon the wood. Now he knows without a shadow of a doubt that he is the sacrifice, because now he's laying on the altar, tied up, bound. So now it's starting to make sense to Isaac, like, well, this is why we didn't have a lamb. My dad knew the whole time that he was going to do this when we got here. So imagine how he must have felt, all the emotions that was running through his mind and through his body. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to kill his son. So now his son actually see his dad with a knife. So he know it's about to go down. There's no doubt in his mind. He know my dad is finna kill me. He's finna offer me on this altar to the Most High. To the Most High. Now, for those that have read, I'm not encouraging you to read it. Like I always tell you, get to the 66, get to the 80. But for those people that have read the book of Jasher, this is the only reason I'm mentioning it. In this particular instance right here, when you know those people that have read it, it says that Isaac basically told his dad in that book, Dad, I understand. Do what you got to do. All praises be to the Most High. It doesn't say it right here. But if you ever read that book, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. He basically gave Pops the thumbs up and said, hey, if the Most High said do it, you got to do it. All praises be to the Most High. Now, this is what we're talking about in this lesson, to submit to the authority of the Most High. This is Abraham submitting to the authority of the Most High. He didn't doubt it. He didn't question it. He didn't hesitate. He didn't say, hey, let me think about it for a couple days. He went and did what the Most High told him to do. And here it is, his son on the altar. Took the knife to slay his son. Verse 11. And the Malach of Yahawah called unto him out of the Shemayim and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here I am. And he said, lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do anything or thou anything unto him. For now I know. Let me highlight this part. He said to Abraham, for now I know that thou fearest the Most High, seeing that thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son from me? How many people genuinely in their heart today, if you have children, Jason Moore 77, if you still in there, Big Bam Campbell, if you still in there, if anybody's in there still in the chat and you have children, especially a son, how many would be willing to offer their only son up to the Most High because he said do it? Would you have been here? Would you have been on that mountain, or would you still been at home? Because even though Abraham was going to do it, when he was about to do it, the Most High sent his Malach, the angel, and it stopped. And he said, for now I know without a shadow of a doubt that you fear me. I know it. And you didn't withhold your only son from me. Meaning you will do whatever it is that I tell you to do. I know that you respect me that much to do it. Verse 13, and Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering instead of his son. Now, Abraham told his son Isaac that the Most High will provide. That's what he told him. He said, the Most High will provide. He didn't know how he was going to provide. He didn't know when he was going to provide. He didn't know anything. But what he did have is faith. He did have the faith. And in that faith, did not the Most High provide? It says right here that a ram was caught in the thicket. That ram was placed there by the Most High. But these circumstances and these situations would have never happened if Abraham would have never went up the mountain to build that altar and sacrifice his only son. He would have never knew these things. This would have never happened. But Abraham had enough faith. He submitted himself to the authority of the Most High. And because of that, when we read in verse 14, it says that Abraham called that name Jehovah Jireh. That's where they get that from in Jamaica and things like that. As it is said to this day, in the mount of Yahawah, it shall be seen. And the Malach of Yahawah called unto Abraham out of the Shemayim the second time and said, by myself have I sworn, saith Yahawah, for because thou had done this thing, right? Because he was willing to sacrifice, he had faith, and has not withheld thy son, thy only son. What did Abraham receive? A blessing, a barakah. That's what he received in verse 17. That in blessing I will bless thee, meaning I will bless means to exalt, barak. I will exalt thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the Shemayim, and as the sand which is upon the seashores, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. We have to understand that Abraham submitted. Just as Abraham submitted, we have to submit. For those who don't even read the Old Testament and they just believe in the New Testament, Matthew to Revelation, well, I don't want you to be as misunderstood, because it's the same thing in the Old Testament as it is the New Testament. That is our forefather, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's actually written in the New Testament. Let me show you real quick. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 22 real quick. I'm going to just show you. You know, because you have some people that say that they're Christians and they say, hey, I don't like that God of the Old Testament. Well, if you don't like him, then you don't like who you serve. Because in Matthew 22 and 32, it says right here, 31, but as touching the resurrection of the dead, have you not read that which was spoken unto you by the Most High, saying, I am the power of Abraham and the power of Isaac and the power of Jacob. The Most High is not the power of the dead, but of the living. For those who may not know Hebrew and you say, why are you saying power instead of God? Well, God in Hebrew means Elohim, or in the more ancient Hebrew, as I speak the Lashawan Quadash, is Elohayim, or Allah, which means power. And like I say, Elohim means powers, plural. So this is what he's talking about. He is the power of Abraham. He is the power of Isaac, and he is the power of Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. He had 12 sons, and this is where you get the 12 tribes of Israel. For those who know, this is why you see Yashra Allah behind me, which means Israel in English, which also means a prince of the Most High. And you have power. That's why you see on my name Shahar, which is a prince. And my name is YAHAWAH in the Hebrew. But anyway, Matthew 22 and 33, and when the multitude heard this, because there's going to be some people who watch this or in the chat right now looking at this, they were astonished at what? The doctrine. It's not my doctrine. This is the Most High doctrine. This is his only begotten son doctrine. There's nothing different from the old to the new. Notice it says they were astonished at his doctrine. For in Proverbs chapter 4, it says that he gives us good doctrine. Let's turn to that. Proverbs chapter 4 real quick. Let me find the verse right here. Verse 2. You can see it on the screen. Right? Proverbs 4, 1 and 2. It says, hear ye children, the instructions of a father, and attend to know understanding. What are you trying to get to know? Understanding. Verse 2. For I give you good what? Doctrine. Or doctrine. Salakia. Forsake ye not what? My law. Is not the Christian church that we know today in 2026 forsaking the law? Do not they say that the law is done away with and it was nailed to the cross? Is not what they say? Are they submitting themselves fully in totality to the Most High and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushai? Because if you believe in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, how can you say that this is done away with? He said, this is what? For I give you good. He's giving us something good. He tells us not to forsake it. So that means at a later time, 1,000 years later or something, when you say, no, we don't need it, it was nailed, then that's forsaking something. Let me click on this word, forsake. What does it say? To abandon, right there. I hope you can see it on the screen. Can I blow that up? No. But I hope you can see it on the screen. It says to abandon someone or something. So if you telling me now in 2026 that the law or the doctrine is done away with, we don't have to follow that, that's abandon. You're abandoning someone or something. And who are you abandoning? The Most High. And the thing is what? His word, his law. You're not submitting to his authority. It's right there on the screen in black and white. Verse 3, it says, for I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in his sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, let thy heart retain my words. Is not Hamashiach Yahushai, the anointed one who shed his blood, hung on the tree? Is not he called the word? That is one of his titles, right? That he is the word of the Most High. It says, keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words out of my mouth. I mean, you can't go anywhere from this. Even he himself said it in Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. And I'm going to get it in the NL so nobody can run from it. New Living Translation, Matthew 5 and 17. right? This is Hamashiach, the anointed one that was hung on the tree. It says, don't misunderstand why I have come. And this is wrong with the church. They have misunderstood why he has came. And he's telling you, don't get it confused in your mind why I came. I did not come. Let me highlight this. And like I said, it's still going to be somebody who watched this, listen to this, and be like, nah, what he's saying ain't right. Well, I mean, hey, it's in black and white, and it's on the screen. Shabbat Shalawam, Aqua Dorothy, the water for being here. She says, Shabbat Shalawam, Yashra Allah, all praises.
Big Bam Campbell said, remind me of Habakkuk.
Big Bam Campbell says, remind me of Habakkuk 3:1, 3:8, and 9. We're going to go there. Habakkuk. We're going to go there. Or if I'm pronouncing it incorrect, my bad. But are we going to go there? Hold that. We're going to go there because I want to show them what you talking about so people will know what you're talking about, right? But let me finish this and then we're going to go there. This is Hamashiach the anointed one. He says, don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, that kills the church right there in black and white. If someone tells you in the church that the law is done away with, we do not have to keep the Moses law, you show them this. This is YAHAWAH, who they say they believe in. Of course, we say it in the Hebrew, YAHAWAH HaMashiach, but in the English, you know, they're going to refer to Jesus Christ. That's what they're going to refer to. This is him speaking right here. And he says, I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the things written of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. I tell you the truth. Until the Shemayim and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of Elohim's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. Everything. But then he goes on in greater detail in verse 19 and says, so if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, which these pastors, shepherds, leaders of congregations of thousands are doing, he says that you will be called least in the kingdom of the Shemayim. So if you telling people, hey, or teaching people, hey, the commandments are done away with, don't keep them, you don't need to keep them, it was nailed to the cross, it says that you will be the least in the kingdom. But anyone who obeys Elohim's law and teaches them, which we're doing right here today, and everybody in here in the chat, I'm pretty sure that's watching, agrees. So this will be you in the kingdom of the Shemayim or the kingdom of heaven. This will be you. This will be your lot. But everyone who obeys Elohim laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. That's you. That is you. So next time you find someone that says that they are a believer and they believe that the law is done away with, you make sure you take them here. Matthew 5:17, all the way to verse 19 to 20, wherever you want to stop at. And the reason I show it in the New Living Translation in the NLT is because it makes it plain and simple. I mean, you can't get more plain and simple than that. But hey, you know, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you where even they still may not understand it because the veil is over them. And I'm going to show you since I spoke on it. And some people do not want to submit to the authority of the Most High. Let me go here and let me get what the Big Bam Campbell had pulled out. Habakkuk 3, right? Habakkuk 3.
Yeah.
3, which one? What verse?
1 through 3 and then 8 and 9.
Okay, 1 through 3. You want to read it?
No.
Oh, YAHAWAH, I have heard thy speech. I was afraid over you, O Yahweh. Revive that work in the midst of the years. In the midst of years, make known. In the wrath of in wrath, remember mercy. The Most High came to Teman and the Kodash one from Mount Paran. Selah. His glory covered the Shemayams, and the earth was full of his praise, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his head, hands, Salakia, and there was the hiding of his power. And you said verse 8?
It said 8 and 9.
8 and 9, okay. Was Yahweh displeased against the rivers? Was thy anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou doest ride upon the horses and thy chariots of salvation? Thy bow, or Salakia, thy bow was made quiet naked, according to the oaths of the tribes, even the word, Selah, thou didst cleave the earth with the rivers, the water. All praises be to the Most High for that. A lot of people don't go to those books. So it's important. I'm glad you put that there, Big Bam Campbell, because a lot of people don't go to those books and read them. They don't go to Nahum. They don't go to Zephaniah. You get what I'm saying? Or Zechariah. A lot of those books towards the end, they don't go to. They might go to Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, but when they get back there towards the end of those books, they don't really go to them. But it's information everywhere. So Tawada, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. The whole thing we're speaking about is submitting to the authority of the Most High. And hopefully you can get that today. Let's turn to Matthew again. Let me know if anybody else put anything in the chat they want us to read. Matthew chapter 26, we're going to go down to the Garden of Yosemite, right? Because everybody got to submit. You know what? Just go to Matthew. For you guys that got the Bible and stuff open, go to Matthew 26, and we're going to start at about 36. But I'm going to show you something real quick in the book of Corinthians, chapter 11. Real quick. Three. So in 1 Corinthians 11 and 3, and this is just where I want to show you right here, it says, but I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man. And the head of a Mashiach is who? The Most High. So even our brother, Hamashiach Yahawashi, he has a head, meaning he has somebody that's over him, that has more authority than him. I just wanted to show you that order, right? So this is why when we go to Matthew, where we were in 26 and 36, let me blow it up more. Now everybody know this is in the garden, right? If you didn't know, now you know. So with that knowledge in 1 Corinthians 11 and 3, knowing that Hamashiach Yahawashi has a head over him, he has somebody over him, authority over him. It says, then come Yahawashi with them unto a place called Yosemite, or Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter, the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even to death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. He took with him two that he thought would watch with him. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed. Wait a minute. Who is he praying to? Saying, "Oh, my Father." Okay, so he's praying to his Father, the one that's over him, that has authority over him. So he got on his knees. The anointed one got on his knees and prayed to the Father, "If it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, not what I want, but as thou wilt." Whatever you want, that's what it's going to be, Father. Now, I've been showing this for the last couple of lessons, and I want to show it again today because a lot of people truly don't understand, as I didn't at a point in time, and it's okay. All of us are at a certain point in time in our journey. When it comes to that cup, as I'm going to click on right here, it's the Greek 4221, right? You see the word on the screen, cup. What it represents, the representation of it, the outline, biblical usage, it says right here in 2, one's lot or experience, what you're going to go through in life. For those that remember the video that I played, if you watched it, the gentleman who played in that video, what was he going through? He was at the grocery store. His card was what? Declined. He had like 5 or 6 eviction notices that he was on his knees praying, and tears was dropping on the paper. He had a family that he was trying to take care of, sons and daughters and a wife, but he couldn't pay the rent. He threw away all his gold, his silver, his cell phone. That was his lot. He was drinking from the cup of the Most High. It says right here, whether it's what? Joyous or adverse. And at that particular time, it wasn't joyous for that brother that you seen on that video. And once again, I'm going to show it again before we close out. But it wasn't joyous. That was a very down time for him. It says divine appointments, letting you know that the Most High appointed this to you. The reason why we go through the things we go through is because the Most High has appointed these things for us in our life. Why? I don't know. When you get up there, you make it to the kingdom, you ask the Most High. It says whether favorable or unfavorable. So yeah, it might be an ox that's doing good. Never look like he's doing bad. And he's serving the Most High. And it might be another ox or a sister that's going through it. You know, always going through it, unfavorable. But that's the lot that the Most High gave them. And then it says, are likened to what? A cup. This is what Hamashiach Yahawashi is talking about in the garden. What cup is that? Which the Most High, it says, presents one to drink. So when you say that you a believer, and you believe in the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, you are professing that you are willing and ready to drink from this cup. But I don't believe and think that a lot of people truly understand, because in the church, they always teach you that everything is going to be what? Favorable or joyous. And that's not the case. Your lot might be unfavorable. As it says right here, soul of what? Prosperity and adversity. You may get both. You may get just one. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what your cup is going to be of. But Hamashiach Yahawashi, he knew. He knew. And some other people knew. And Hamashiach Yahawashi told them, you know, let me get that real quick. Let me just show you. Right? He knew. So understand that that cup that he was asking to pass was a cup of suffering. Verse 40, it says, and he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? And it's not really talking about one physical hour. It's talking about a period of time. This is why he always tells us to be what? Alert, be watchful. But they fell asleep. In the Bible, when you're asleep, it means that what? You're dormant. You're not keeping a watchful eye of who? Satan, Hasatan, the devil, the deceiver. This is why he told him in 41, watch and pray that you enter not into what? Temptation. Man, if you out there sleep and you ain't on your, if you ain't on your P's and Q's, the devil coming. That Satan, he is going to attack you. And if you not prayed up in the faith, he gonna knock you down. Because he gonna give it everything he got. This is why Hamashiach said, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit, the Rakah indeed is willing. The Rakah wants to follow the Most High, but that flesh, man, is weak. It is weak. 42, he went away again the second time and prayed, saying, oh, my Father, if this cup may not pass from me except I drink it, thy will be done. Letting you know he was trying to get around not drinking that cup. That's what he wanted to do in the flesh. But even that, he said, listen, I want to do this in the flesh, but nevertheless, let it be your will. Whatever your will is. And he keeps showing you that he had to do it because he came right back to the disciples again. And what happened? And he came and found them what? Asleep again. The Father is showing him, I can't let the cup pass because the people here in the earth, your brothers and sisters in the earth, they asleep. They blinded. They are dormant. They can't do it without you. I can't let the cup pass because every time you walk away, every time you leave, they fall off. This is why he had to send the comforter. He had to, because every time he walks off or leaves, the people fall off and they go to sleep. It says, and he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. And he understood now when he came back, 45, then cometh he to the disciples and saith unto them, sleep on now. He told them, just stay where you at. Sleep on. Because he understood right then and there, the state of mind that they were in, they were never going to wake up. They could never be watchful like he was watchful. That's why he said, sleep on and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. He understood. And the Father kept showing him that he had to drink from this cup because, hey, we was in the flesh and the flesh is weak to this very day. Now remember this, all that happened in the garden. I want you to remember this. Remember that cup. Because you got to drink from the same cup if you a believer. Big Bam Campbell, Jason Moore 77, Aqua Dorothy, Timothy, Chat the Man, me, myself. And it's a cup of suffering. It's not as the church gives you, where it's just rainbows and Skittles and sun and everybody's jumping around happy all the time. It's not that. Let me show you. Turn to Mark chapter 10 with me real quick. Mark chapter 10. Mark 10 and 35. I'm going to just go right to it. We know this is YAHAWAH speaking, right? Mark 10 and 35. If you got your Bibles, please turn there.
Big Bam Campbell said long, 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 and then he said, but forever is what I'm after.
Con. Now, what's the long, long, long? I know it was a representation of what I said, something I said, but if you can explain a little further, I would greatly appreciate it. And then he says, but forever is what I'm after, Khan. Eternity, immortality, right? Eating from that tree of what? Life. The same reason why Adam and Eve got kicked out the garden, right? That's what we want, that tree. To live in righteousness forever. Khan. He said to suffer. Khan. I'm glad you said that,
Long suffering, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Now listen to what you just said, right? What you just said, the suffering. Watch this. Mark 10 and 35, right? And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, come unto him saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. And he said unto them, what would ye that I should do for you? They said unto him, grant unto us that we may sit on thy right hand and on thy left hand in thy glory. But Yahawashi said unto them, ye know not what you ask. They don't understand what they asking. And what did he say? I'm going to highlight it right here. He says, can you drink of the cup that I drink of and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And Big Bam Campbell, he just answered it. I mean, he just said, long, suffer. Already know I got to do this. That's what Big Bam Campbell just said. I know I got to go through this. I know I got to drink the cup. And Yahawashi right here, he said, you don't know what you asked, talking about John and James. Can you drink of that cup? And can you be baptized with what I'm baptized with? Verse 39. And they said unto him, we can. And that's what all of us say when we say we believe in the Most High and his only begotten son that shed his blood and hung on the tree for us. When you say you believe in him and you put your faith in him, this is what you're saying. We can. And Yahawashi said unto them, ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drank of, and with the baptism that I am baptized with all shall ye be baptized. Now, I want to show this in the comparative text real quick. Mark 10 and 39. Let me make it just a little smaller. Right? And as you can see, you can't run from this. New King James, NLT, you can see it all says the same thing. They replied, we are able. Then Yahawashi told them, you will indeed drink from what? My bitter cup. Yeah, it's not going to be sweet and rainbows all the time. It's not going to be happy all the time. It's not going to be like the church portrayed to you all the time. It's a bitter cup. And be baptized with my baptism of what? Big Bam Campbell just said it. Of what? Suffering. The church don't tell you that. When they call you up there on the pew after service and they say, does anybody believe? Put your hands in the air if you believe. Come on down to the front of the church and say this prayer with us. And then people stand up there and they say that prayer. But they don't realize that they drinking and taking the baptism of what? Suffering. This is what you signing up for. You signing up to suffer in this life. As they say, to go through hell here on earth. That's what you signing up for. Or should I say, that's what you're submitting yourself to, the authority of the Most High. And in that, he's going to make you drink of the same cup that his son drank from. You're not just going to go around it. Like he say, if you try to go any other way, you are a thief and a robber. You got to go through the door. He said he is the way. He is the door. That's the only way you can get there. It's through the Son. And if that's the only way, then you got to drink from the same cup that he drank from, the same baptism that he took of suffering. I just want to show that. So nobody can run and get away from that, right? Nobody. Where did I leave off at? I think I was at what? Okay, 40. But to sit on my right hand and on my left hand, it is not mine to give. Why? Because he has a head. He has somebody that's over him. But it shall be given to them for whom it is what? Prepared. Letting you know, as the book of Ephesians always say, all these things are predestined. Listen, Big Bad Campbell, Jason Moore 77, Sister Dorothy, Tim, and whoever else is in here, and whoever else watches. All the brothers and sisters scattered everywhere. Chat the man. It was already prepared that we was going to be here on these Shabbat days. It's already prepared if we're going to go further, if we're going to last long, if we're going to come together one day and break bread. All we doing is following the motions that the Most High has already prepared for us to come together. Yahawashi is letting them know. He's telling them now for who is prepared. It's already prepared who's going to sit on the left and the right side of me. I can't give you that because it's already prepared for them. Just like whatever's prepared for you is already prepared. This is why we here serving the Most High. This is why we keeping the Shabbat day. That's why we do these lessons. That's why we read. This is why we study. This is why we pray. It's our lot. This is what was given to us. You were chose before you was even in the womb. And this is what we have to understand. You are already predestined. It says, and when the 10 heard it, they began to be much displeased at James and John. So the other 10 heard it, they felt some kind of way about it. Like, how dare you go, how dare you go and ask for something like that? They felt a certain kind of way. 42, but Yahawashi called them to him and saith unto them, let me do this because I want to break this down. Just right here on 42. Watch this. Because a lot of people want to be leaders. A lot of people want titles. A lot of people want all kind of stuff. But one thing I learned, and I'm learning still every day. Watch this, what Yahawashi say. So Yahawashi, this is in a New Living Translation. So Yahawashi called them together and said, you know that the rulers in this world that we live in, they're what? Masters. They rule over it. Look how they rule over their people. Everybody talking about what Trump and how he doing and how he casting people out doing this. He's showing his what? Authority. It says right here, and the officials flaunt their what? Authority over those under them. Is that not what they're doing right now to this day? Your supervisor at your job, the government, the governor, the mayor of the city you live in, the police officers, like people that have more authority than you, they flaunt it. They let you know that, hey, I have more authority than you. And I can take away or I can give whatever it is to you. I rule over you. In this world only, though. In this world only. Mark 10 and 43. It says, but among you, meaning us, the brethren, the Ahchyam, the sisters, the Ahchwathyam. But among you, it will be what? Different. And ask yourself, is it different in the churches today? Is it different in the congregations that we know of? Is it different in the camps? A lot of them, not all of them. Is it different or is it the same as that they flaunt their authority? They let you know that they are a deacon. They let you know that I'm over you, that I'm more supreme than you, that I know more than you. I have more knowledge than you. Because Yahawashi said with us as the brethren, it would be different. It wouldn't be like that. Our people won't flaunt their authority like the heathens do. But with us, it would be totally different. Why? Because we're all brothers and sisters. We're all brothers and sisters. Nobody should be over another one and flaunt their authority. He goes on to tell us, whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant. So do they understand that they want to be a leader? Right? They want to be captains. They want to be bishops. They want to be whatever these people are, high priests and all these things, titles that they give themselves. Do they understand that when you get these titles and you're in a leadership position that you are more of a servant now? You are actually less than the people that are in front of you, because now you have became their servant, which is basically their slave. And whoever wants to be first among you, it says, must be the slave of everyone else. I guarantee people would not be running, trying to be in leadership, being in this and being that, if they was to break it down in this format, say, hey, you know, if you're going to become a leader and you're going to become a captain over, 100 people, that you're going to be a slave to them, whatever they need, whatever they call on, whatever they this, whatever they that. Basically like Moses was doing when he was like, oh man, I can't do it all. Many days Moses asked the Most High to just what? Kill me. Just take me out. It's too much. How many prophets in the Bible asked the Most High to just kill me? Just take my life right now. It's just too much. And these were prophets that was dealing with the Most High. Not even like today. But they don't break it down like that. And these men get in these leadership roles, and you don't understand, in order to be in a leadership role, or in order to be a leader, you have to become a servant and a slave to who? The people. Because now you serve them. That's why Hamashiach gave the parable of what? The good shepherd and a hireling. Someone you hire, when things get rough, when the wolf comes, they're going to run off. But that true shepherd, he's going to humble himself. He's going to stand in the middle. He's going to take that fight for you. He's going to be a slave for you and lay down his life for who? You. That's what it's talking about in the book of John, chapter 15, 13 on down, when he says, I call you my friends, not a servant.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 7.
Malachi 1, 6, 7. Let's go there, Khan. Let me see if there's anything else on here real quick.
Sister Dorothy, all praises to the Most High.
All praises be to the Most High. And listen to this. And we're going to get that, Big Bam Campbell. Listen to this right here. Mark 10 and 45. It says, for even the Son of Man, our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahushai, came not to be served, but to serve others, and to give his life as a ransom for who? Many. That's what you're doing when you want to be a leader. You are becoming a slave to your people. That's what it is. And you have to lay down your life as Hamashiach Yahushai did for who? Your brothers and your sisters. So yeah, all praises be to the Most High. Let me get that for you, Big Bam Campbell, real quick. The Aqua said, all praises be to the Most High Yahweh Khan. And let's get that for Big Bam Campbell. Malachi chapter 1. Let me go back to the King James. King James. What was it? Verse what? 6 and 7, Khan. I just say this. People want to hear those smooth things like in the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 8. And I come to the conclusion, no matter how you try to bring the word to the people so as that they can receive it, and try to give it to them delicately. If it's not for them, then it's just not for you. I'm not going to bend. I'm not going to budge. I'm not going to be saying JC and all this to make some people feel good and so they can kind of understand. Listen, this is where we at. And we speak Hebrew over here. We call on Hamashiach Yahushai and our Father, Yahawah, Abanawa Yahawah. We say Shalawam, peace and blessings. You know, call hello. This is what we do. And I'm not asking nobody to hold on and stay on. And no, if you don't feel that it's right and it ain't resonating with your spirit, then click off. But if you feel in your Rakah, in the Holy Spirit that he gave you, the Quadash Rakah, that this is the true word, like I always say, then share it. Malachi 1:6. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? Come on. And if I be a master, where is my fear? Saith Yahweh of hosts, unto you, O priest that despise my name. All those passages is going to be up there tomorrow. And listen, it's a heathen day tomorrow. So you know the churches tomorrow is going to be packed. Everybody going to have on their colors, yellow and pink and the spring colors, and the churches is going to be packed. It might be Women's Day tomorrow in the church. They might let the women get up and preach tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a big heathen day in the church tomorrow. Real big. It says, O priests that despise my name, and ye say, wherein have we despised thy name? You have the audacity to ask something like that. The audacity. Verse 7, ye offer polluted bread upon my altar, and you say, wherein have we polluted thee? And that ye say, the table of Yahweh. Come on, man. These people is sick. They sick. But I understand. You know why I understand? Because it is written for us. That's why I always go to Romans 15:4. Read Romans 15. All this stuff that we reading was written aforetime for our learning. That's why we have to go there. Thank you for that, Big Bam Campbell. All praise. I mean, that was right on time. That was, you know, what they would call a home run. So Tawada for that. Thank you very much.
Sister Dorothy said Mother's Day.
Con, Mother's Day tomorrow. You know, they're going to be out there shopping, doing whatever. You know, it's going to be a big day in the church tomorrow. But they won't preach nothing like this tomorrow. You won't hear this preached in the church. But this is the truth. Since we in Malachi, let me jump over. Let me see. Let me jump to 2. Let me see. Since the brother Big Bam Campbell put that in there, we was already right here. Let me just share this. Same book, just turn it over to chapter 2. Right? Verse 6. It says, the law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace, right? In peace did he walk with me. There was no iniquity, no sin. Nothing found in him. It says in verse 7, for the priest's lips should keep what? Knowledge. Your shepherd, your priest, your pastor, whoever it is, this, you know, that you listen to, that you following, that you whatever, they should keep what? Knowledge. And they should seek what? The law at his mouth. The people should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the what? Messenger of Yahweh of hosts. Speaking about Malachi at this time. I mean, you got to have that knowledge. But like I say, I understand. Let me show that real quick in Romans chapter 15.
Somebody put someone named I'm a Huckleberry said the truth is that all churches worship WH, whom Jesus identified as the devil. John 8:43-44.
Well, let me help you. What is it? Huckleberry?
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you. No, you got that incorrect, or maybe I'm misunderstanding you, right? And I'm gonna go to it. But just to let you know what he was talking about in John chapter 8, he was talking to the Pharisees. And the Pharisees could not understand what it is that he was saying, how he was the true bread that came down, right? So he said they was of their father, the devil. They were, because they could not receive his word. His word was truth that he was speaking, but they could not receive it. Talking about the Pharisees, the scribes, they could not receive what it was that he was saying. So yes, at that time, they claimed that they was worshiping the Most High, but they wasn't. They claimed that they followed the law of Moses, but they wasn't. They wasn't. So I understand what you're saying. You may have it a little misconstrued, but maybe I'm misunderstanding you, my brother. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you. You say, show me. Okay, let me show you. Let me go to this real quick.
Pharisee worship YHWH, the same God of all three faiths.
Right. You said in the YHWH, which is a tetragrammaton for the Most High Yahawah, right? That's all that is, a tetragrammaton. I'm going to show you in John 8. Now, I'm going to show you, hopefully you're not just a scoffer. Romans 15:4, it says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. That, listen, that we through patience, so be patient with me, and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Now, I want to ask you a question, because you're saying these things, and before I even go into it, Huckleberry, are you a believer in the Bible? Answer that question. Are you a believer in the Bible? Do you believe in the Holy Scriptures? Yes or no? Answer that for me real quick.
He said, no, he was clear. He said 3 times that Yahweh his have different fathers from him in John 8.
Okay, I'm showing all of these, right? But I like I said, I'm going to go down there and break it down, but I'm asking you, do you believe in the Bible? If you believe in the Bible, say yes or nay. The Aqua Dorothy, read that.
She said, believe me when I say that letting go of man's holidays is a relief. Heavy burden lifted. Hallelujah. People will be going broke tomorrow. Some will be upset and depressed. Better to obey Yah than them.
God, all praises. So anybody watching, anybody watching? He says, no, absolutely not. Not Jesus said his sheep don't read your Old Testament trash, John 10:8. Okay. Well, thank you, Huckleberry. Click him off. He don't believe in the Bible. I'm not finna waste my time to break it down if you don't believe. Okay. If you don't believe in the Bible, if you don't believe in the word, then this is not the channel for you. We believe in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. If you're not a believer, we say kindly, move on. Thank you. We appreciate your comments. Okay. He says, no, absolutely not. Not YAHAWAH said his sheep don't read your Old Testament. Oh, okay. Hey, thank you. Not finna waste our time. Con says, and I was gonna break it down. Yeah, he didn't know what he was talking about, but I would have broke it down for him. But if you don't believe, why waste the time? Right? We on another mission. So turn with me. We already read Romans chapter 15, verse 4. Everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning. So let's go to Romans 11 real quick. And Thawada, Big Bam Campbell, for that Malachi chapter 1, because I'll piggyback off of that in chapter 2. Now,
Romans 11, what?
We're going to read Romans 11 and 1. Let's go there. Romans 11 and 1. Okay. It says, I say then, have the Most High cast away his people? Ahchyam forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Ahchyam have not cast away his people, which he foreknew. He foreknew us, right? Remember, he foreknew us. Will ye not what the scriptures say about Elijah, how he maketh intercession to Ahchyam against Israel, saying, Master, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thy altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. For those who don't know what Paul is talking about, this is why I encourage you to read the whole Bible, Genesis to Revelation. Let's go there real quick. 1 Kings. So put your finger, if you have your Bible, put your finger, because we're still going to come back to Romans 11, but let's turn to 1 Kings chapter 19 real quick, so we can see what Paul is talking about. Because he's speaking about Elijah, right? That's who he's talking about. And the reason he was in that situation, for those don't know that didn't read 1 Kings, go back and read it, is because he had just did something with Ahab and Jezebel where he killed all their prophets. Well, actually, the Most High, did his part, and then the people turned and they killed like 400 of prophets, really men that serve Satan. So Jezebel is upset. And it says right here in verse 1, and Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and with all how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Remember that. Like I told you, go back and read the previous chapter. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the Ahchyam do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. Basically, she what is that called? She threatening him and say, hey, you're going to be just like the other people by tomorrow. Mark my words. Just as you did to them, I'm going to do to you. It says in verse 3, and when he saw that, he arose and went for his life and came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down upon a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might what? Die. This is Elijah. Elijah was a powerful, powerful prophet. So much so that when he left, Elisha got it. But yeah, he's asking the Most High and telling the Most High, man, I'm ready to die. Just take me. They killing everybody. We go and tell people your word. They don't hearken. They don't listen. They want to beat us, stone us, kill us. Listen to what he say. This is what Elijah said, and said, it is enough. He tired. It's enough. He said, it's enough now, O Yahweh, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. And as he lay and slept under the juniper tree, behold, a Malach touched him and said unto him, arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on the coals, basically a jar of water at his hand. And he did eat and drink and laid him down again. And the Malach of Yahweh came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, because thy journey is too great for thee. What is he eating? What is he eating? This Malach is telling him, arise and eat, because the journey that you're in, your walk that you in, your everyday journey that you in, because you drank from the cup that we've been talking about of suffering, it says what? It is too great for thee. Because now you asking, listen, I'm ready to bow out. I'm ready to throw in the towel. I can't take it no more. I want to go to Red Lobster. I want to go celebrate Mother's Day. They having a Christmas party at my job and I want to go. I can't take it no more. It's enough. I want to go out on the Shabbat and go to the club. I want to wear what I want to wear. I'm tired of wearing dresses. I'm tired of covering my head. I'm tired for the ox. I'm tired of wearing fringes. I'm tired of talking about the Most High every Shabbat. Verse 8. And he arose and did eat and drink. What is he eating and drinking? What do we eat and drink when we break the bread?
The body and the blood.
And went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights. Uh-oh, here he is with the 40. Who else did the 40 days and 40 nights? On the mount of what? The Most High at Horeb. And he came thither unto a cave and lodged there. And behold, the word of Yahweh came to him and said unto him, what are you doing here, Elijah? Well, it really says, what doest thou here? But in my words, it said, what are you doing here? Why are you hiding out in this cave, Elijah? The word of the Most High. This is what Paul wrote in Romans 11, which we're about to go back to. He says, and he said, I have been very jealous for you, Yahweh of hosts. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thy altars, and killed thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. So you want to be a prophet of the Most High? This is what you're looking at. You want to be a leader? This is what you're looking at. Elijah was a servant. He was a slave to the Most High for the people. And the people rejected him day after day after day after day after day to where they wanted to kill him. And it got to the point where it was just too much. He said, man, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm done. So this is what Paul in Romans 11 is writing about when he's talking about this in verse 3. When it says they had killed the prophets and digged down the altars, and I left them alone, he's speaking about Elijah. Verse 4. But what saith the answer of the Most High to him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of who? Satan, Baal. For those who don't know, Baal is Satan, Hasatan. And that's why I don't use the word L-O-R-D. Because if you look up the word L-O-R-D, it will tell you it's Rut, B-A-A-L, which is Baal. So I don't use those words because B-A-A-L means L-O-R-D, and that's why they put it here in our reading. So when you say that and people say L-O-R-D, who are you referring to when you say that?
I would think that they know who they're referring to, because when you try to tell them about the Most High, they say that's not their APBTTMH. So they know who they're referring to. Oh,
she said when you do say that, they say that's not my APBTTMH. That's exactly what they do.
I serve the L-O-R-D.
Now I just pulled it up real quick. I'm gonna share it so people might say, "Oh, I don't know about that. I never heard of that. Maybe he lying." Look, you can Google it yourself. But just real quick, I just pulled it up just to show. I just put L-O-R-D is B-A-L. So right here it tells you on the screen. I think I'm sharing it. Go ahead, you can read it.
It says Baal is a Semitic title meaning L-O-R-D.
It means what? L-O-R-D. Go ahead.
Owner or master.
Uh-huh.
Used in ancient Canaan and Phoenicia to designate various fertility and storm gods.
I mean,
while it refers to a specific deity, often Hadad, it was not a single entity, but a title applied to local gods, and it was frequently used in the Bible to contrast with the God of Israel.
Now, with the Most High,
how you mix good and evil? Like
yeah, with the Most High have evil to his name like that? Come on. You get what I mean? So I just want you guys to know. So that's why I don't use it. I know other Ahchyam brothers do use it. Hey, you know, they're going to have to give an account of that. And the reason I don't do it is because it's written in the Torah that we shouldn't do it, right? Let me show you that real quick. So you just won't be thinking like I'm saying all this.
That you shouldn't do what now?
That you shouldn't use that.
Okay.
I'm going to show you right here. The G-O-D or the L-O-R-D. Let's go to, let me see how good my memory is. I ain't been here in a long time. Exodus 20, is it Exodus 23? Let me see. Let me see. Just bear with me. I'm trying to find it. I know it's in the book of Exodus. Let me see. I guess I should have found it first, huh? Let me see. I know it's Exodus 23. Something all in my mind, it just keeps saying 23. Let me see. Hold on. I get it. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. It's Exodus 20. Let me see. In the book of Exodus, it says, you shall not name any other gods by their name. Okay, I was right. I was in 23 already.
Verse 13.
I guess I was moving too fast. You told me that. You said, slow down. She be telling me to slow down, man. But you know how it is when you in the Rakah, you in the spirit, you be moving and, hey. But I was right here. Here it is, Exodus 23 and 13. I went to Exodus 23 and 23, but it's Exodus 23 and 13. So this is why I don't use it, right? It says, and in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, right? Be circumspect and make no mention of the name of who? Other deities. That's why I don't say G-O-D. I do my best not to. Of course, when you talk to the phone or you ask something, they wouldn't know what I was talking about if I didn't say that, because that's how they got it programmed. But I do my best not to use it because it's commanded of us not to do it. It says, make no mention of other deities, neither let it be heard out of what? Thy mouth. So when you see Ahchyam doing that, and they just, L-O-R-D, 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 or G-O-D, and they know, I'm not talking about the people who don't know. Acts 17 and 30, for he winks at your what? Ignorance. Read that in Acts 17. I'm not talking about the people who don't know. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who know, who call on the name of Most High Yahawah and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahawashi. And you can do it in comparative text, which I always let it do to just show it.
Can you define circumspect for people that might not know what it means?
Con, we'll do that right after this. NLT says, pay close attention to all my instructions, or basically, you must not call on the name of any other deities. Don't even speak of what? Their names. Now, for the circumspect, let me show that. I'll just click on it and get the definition.
Careful to consider all circumstances and possible consequences.
Right. It should be on the screen. Hopefully it's popping up. Can you see it on the screen? Is it not showing, or it just shows me?
It's like that. You're looking like that. Look. It just shows you highlighted the word circumspect.
Oh, okay. It doesn't show the dictionary. So when I click it click on it on my end, it shows the dictionary, the definition of it from the Oxford Dictionary. But I guess it doesn't show on the screen, which I thought it was.
Yeah, I can't.
It says weary and unwilling to take risk. So meaning you don't want to take that risk by saying L-O-R-D or G-O-D. Don't be willing to risk, hey, your salvation. Don't be willing to risk anything when it comes to that, because you're commanded not to say those things. This is why I'm saying those brothers and sisters that know better, and still go out and teach and say L-O-R-D and G-O-D and all of these things, and they're not trying to elevate the people's knowledge. It says right here in black and white, circumspect, weary. You can Google it for yourself what the word circumspect means. And unwilling to take risks. So it's telling you, don't take this risk. Don't do it. And then it says up under that, an adjective, it says caution, weary, careful, guarded. And then it says on one's guard, meaning you should be careful. Don't take the risk to do it. And you should always be on guard, not to mention the other names of who? Any other deities. Don't even let it be heard out of your mouth. That's why I say Elohim, Elohim, Master, Adon, Adonai, Adawan. Modern Hebrew, they might say Adonai. You know, so if you know these things and the Most High has given this information to you, why would you go back to vomit and start calling on L-O-R-D? And a lot of our people know it. And I've been there. And the excuse is, well, people don't know what you're talking about. That's their fault. Let me ask you this. When Hamashiach YAHAWAH spoke in parables right in front of the people, did the people understand what he was talking about? No. That's why he spoke to them in parables. Because he said, having eyes they can't see and having ears they can't hear. That was the whole purpose of him speaking in a parable. So if I'm out there teaching or online teaching and I'm saying, call halal Yahweh Shama Mashiach Yahushai, somebody looks at it and they don't know what I'm saying, that's not my fault. But the ones that is revealed to, they understand.
Not only that,
they know.
Not only that, but the ones that want to know.
The ones that want to know, yeah.
They'll inquire about that.
Right, right.
And the ones that be like, oh, it don't matter, it's, you know, then you know it's not for him.
And like I say, if it's easier for somebody to show someone in another verse, another comparative text, the NLT, the NIV, the ESVN, is telling you right here the same thing. Pay attention in the ESVN. Pay attention to all that I have said to you and make no mention of the names of other deities, nor let it be heard on your lips. So you should ask other Ahchyam that teach, or you see teaching that know this, why are you teaching using these deity names when you know L-O-R-D is B-A-A-L? Why are you doing that? That's the same thing the church do. Like you're deceiving, you're teaching in deception. And we don't do that. You're handling the word wrong. And the Bible says that we handle the word what? Right. With no deceit. So I just wanted to show you that. That's in the book of Exodus, chapter what? 23, verse 13.
Oh, and a lot of times people are always saying praise the L-O-R-D, praise the L-O-R-D, and now you know who you praise it. Gone.
So I just wanted to show that, like I said, a lot of people know already. Some people don't know. For those who didn't know, like I say, there's no smut on you. If you didn't know, I'm not pushing nothing on you, because right here, let me show for those who don't know, Acts 17, verse 30, just to show it, you know, it says, let's get it. And in the time of this ignorance, right? If you were ignorant of it and you did not know, the Most High winked at it, but now commanded all men everywhere to what? Repent of that. And don't be doing that. Don't do it no more. You have been elevated and this knowledge has been revealed to you. So why would you go back to that knowing actually what it means now? You know where they got it from and why they put it in the very word that we read. You have to remember it's two different types of belief out here. You have the church belief and you have the truth. And this is what that person that kind of jumped in trying to be a scoffer in John 8 was talking about. This is why he said, you are of the father, you are of your father, the devil, because you're not believing in truth. And that's all throughout the New Testament, in John and 2 Thessalonians and James. You got to be a hearer. First you'll be a hearer, then you will be a doer. But that's not what they teach you, because they believe in something different. They don't believe in the true word. And this is what Paul was talking about. Let's go back here in Romans 11, when we was getting into Elijah and all these things that we were talking about. You know, I hope you guys just are listening and can understand this, and it's really resonating with your spirit through Rakah. I hope so. You know, let's get this real quick. It says, I read 4, right? That have not bowed the knee to the image of who? Baal. I already showed you what that really means. Lord. I pulled it up, showed you. It says in verse 5, even so then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of what? Grace. Here in 2026 on May 9th on the Shabbat day, you are the elect. Big Bam Campbell, Jason Moore, Sister Dorothy, Timothy, Chapter Man, even though whoever ain't in here. But you are part of elect if you believe in his word and his only begotten son, Hamashiach YAHAWAH. Verse 6, and if by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more. And these people just get confused on what Paul is saying. It's grace of Hamashiach YAHAWAH. It don't matter what you do, you still covered with the grace. But that don't mean to continue to live in sin. That don't mean continue the type of person that you were before you got the knowledge. If you really believe in the Most High, then it's going to change you. You'll become a new man, a new woman. You cannot just remain the same person. And I'm not saying you're going to change overnight. It's going to be a procedure. The Most High is going to prune you. He's going to put you in that furnace of fire to purge all of that stuff out of you. Verse 7, it says, what then? Question. Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh, but the election have obtained it. Who obtained it? The election. There's a lot of children of Israel out there that we see within these churches and congregations. They have not obtained what they're seeking for. That's why they go to church every Sunday. That's why they go to that camp every Shabbat, but they still can't understand. They still don't know. Paul is letting you know the reason why. Why they can't get it. Why they can't understand it. That's why he says in the beginning of 11 and 7, what then? With a question mark. Pay close attention to this. He's finna reveal something to you. Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it. Those of the elect, the ones that were chosen by the Most High before the foundation of the earth. If you here today and you understand what the words are through the spirit, through the Rakah that is being spoken, that is coming out on the platter today, on this beautiful Shabbat, and you know it and you understand it, you are part of the elect. It says, and the rest were what? Blinded. That's why they could sit in a church for 40 and 50 and 60 years, or a camp for 10, 20, 30 years under some man, because they are blinded, because they never received the truth. Here it is. Verse 8, according as it is written, the Most High have given them a spirit or a rakah of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear. Here it is right here. Until this day. even more, May 9th, 2026, right now, we have brothers and sisters that have eyes that can't see and ears that can't hear. And it says, according where it is written. For those who may not know where it's written, I'm going to show you real quick. It's written in the book of Isaiah. I know it's a lot of ox are on here that already know, but this is for our brothers and sisters who don't know. Isaiah chapter 29. Let's go there real quick. I'm not going to read all of it for time's sake because I'm not going to hold you long today. But I do want to just show the brothers and sisters this. Let me see. I think I'm going to start about verse 9 or 10. 10. I mean, we could do 9. It don't matter. It says, stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out, cry that they are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. Verse 10, here it is. For Yahawah have poured out upon you the rakah, the spirit of deep sleep. This is what's wrong with our people in those camps, in those congregations, in those churches. The reason they keep running there is because they are in a deep sleep. This is prophecy. As you can see, Paul was talking about the same thing when he was out there. I'm talking about it now, and I'm out here. It's a prophecy from the Most High, and nobody can take that away. If the Most High wants you sleep, then you're going to be what? Sleep. This is what Hamashiach Yahawashi was talking about in the Garden of Gethsemane when he went to pray about the cup and he came back and the disciples were asleep. This is what it's talking about, this deep sleep. And have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, have he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed. That's why when you tell people about the book, the Bible, they say, man, I don't understand that. I read it back and forth. I read it 2 or 3 times, but I don't understand it. All the thou and thee and this and that. It's just too much for me. Me personally, I've heard several people in my time through this journey tell me that they have read it and yet they don't understand nothing that's going on in there. Nothing. Why? Because it is like a book that is sealed to them. They cannot comprehend. It said, which man delivered to one that is learned, saying, read this, meaning one that's educated, one that can read. Went to college, got 2 or 3 degrees, master degrees, and this and that. And you say, hey, read this book. What does it say? I pray thee. And he saith, what is the one that got master degrees? What did he say? I cannot, for it is sealed. The only way you can understand the things that are written in this book is that the Most High reveals it to you and he takes that veil off. That's the only way. Yeah, you can go to college for 5 years, 10 years, become a doctor, a lawyer, a cop, a police, a fire department, fireman, or whatever. You can do all those things in this world. But yet you can be still ignorant to the word of the Most High. And it tells you right here, Isaiah 29 and 11, it is a book that is sealed. So you can read to people till you blue in the face. The only way they're going to receive it and understand it is if the Most High take the veil off of them and reveal it to them. Verse 12, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned, the one who's uneducated, never went to school, dropped out in the 5th or 6th grade, can barely read, can barely write, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. I don't know how to read this. I don't understand. This is what it's talking about. This is what it's talking about. You got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mark 8:36.
Mark 8 and 36. Okay, we'll go there.
Yeah.
Wherefore the Most High said, for as much as his people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips, do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me. And their fear toward me is taught by what? Precepts of man. What does that mean? Commandments of men. They're not teaching you the truth. They're teaching you what they want to teach you. The same thing that Hamashiach Yahawashi said when he was on the earth. What did he call them Pharisees? Hypocrites. You are teaching what? Commandments of men. You are not teaching the Most High word. That's what he said. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do marvelous works among this people, even as marvelous works, and they wonder. For the wisdom of their wise man shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent man shall be hid. Woe unto him that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are not in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? They mocking the Most High. He can't see what I'm doing. He don't know what we doing down here on earth. Screw the Most High. This is what they saying. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say to him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing formed say of him that formed it, he had no understanding? And that's what they say. That's exactly what they say today. That the Most High doesn't have any understanding. In the New Living Translation, it says it like this: how foolish can you be? He is the potter, and he is certainly greater than you, the clay. Should the created thing say to the one that made it, he didn't make me? Does a jar even say the potter who made it is stupid? That's what the people, that's what we do to the Most High. And this is what he's saying. So that's Isaiah chapter 29. Go back and read that for yourself. You know, go back and read that for yourself. I would encourage you. So that's what it's talking about, having eyes they can't see and having ears they can't hear. And we're going to come back to more in the book of Romans. You said what? Mark 8?
8 and 36 and 37.
Mark,
those two verses.
Mark 8 and 36 she won't?
Yeah.
And 37. Let's go there real quick.
It was in reference to what you was talking about the other, like, alkaloids, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, we got to read 35 too. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. Verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? Yeah, you got a master's degree, a doctor's degree. Yeah, you got a house, you got a car, you got a good job, you work at Bank of America. You know, whatever you do, I don't know. But the book is sealed to you. You don't have no understanding about the book. Verse 37. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Well, I played a clip a couple weeks ago on the Shabbat where a man said, if you offer me $100 million, I'm going back in. I'd do anything for $100 million. But that fighter, I forget who it was. There was a fighter on there. He said, now I know the character of you. I know what type of man you are, that you would sell your soul for $100 million. And the Bible is asking you a question. The Most High and his only begotten Son is asking you a question. What shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Well, $100 million? Okay. Satan will give that to you for your soul. That's easy. But you know what? Since you would be willing to give up your soul for $100 million, he won't even give you the $100 million because he already knows that it wouldn't take $100 million. It would only take a couple million and you will still fall. Why? Because of the mindset you got. You willing to give it up already. If you willing to give it up, it ain't too much work for you to give it up. He just got to put the right circumstances in front of you and you gone. Con. Brother Timothy in the building, all the way from Baltimore, Maryland. You know what I'm saying? We got Texas in the building, Tennessee in the building, Amsterdam in the building, North Carolina in the building, New York, New Jersey, California, four corners of the earth, Amsterdam. We everywhere, you know? So this is a beautiful question right here in Mark 8:37. The water for bringing this out. And we have to ask ourselves, that cup that you drinking from that I've been breaking down all day, right? To serve the authority of the Most High. Submit yourself. What would you be willing to exchange that for? The kingdom, because that's basically what you will be giving up if you have this understanding. What would you be willing to exchange it for here on earth? Because remember, let's show you here in Matthew chapter 4. Remember, the tempter came and did the same thing to our brother. Matthew 4, let's get where he said he give them all the kingdoms.
Sister Dorothy must have felt left out because she said SC here.
Oh, Salakia, Sister Dorothy, Salakia. What did she say? South Carolina in the building.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Baltimore, South Carolina, Amsterdam, Texas, Tennessee, California, New York, New Jersey. We everywhere. Jamaica, Haiti, Colombia, Puerto Rico, right? We everywhere to the four corners of the earth. Australia. If it's anybody I left out that I know they reach out, I'm sorry. Salakia, forgive me. You get what I'm saying? But we scatter to the four corners of the earth and we say a big peace and blessings. Shalawam, shalom to all y'all scattered to the four corners of the earth, to my brethren, the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, I want you to read this right here in the book of Matthew. The same thing the devil did to our brother. Matthew 4:5, it says, now the devil, Ahchyam, Satan, taketh him up to a Kodash city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple and saith unto him, if thou be the son, cast thyself down, right? Because he's tempting him. But our brother comes back and said, it is written that thou shalt not tempt Yahawah thy power, right? Now here it is in verse 8. Again, Satan taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, right? So Satan is promising him all of these things. And he even says it in verse 9, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee. So if you go to Mark 8:37, and it says, what will a man exchange for his soul? This is the same thing the tempter is coming to Hamashiach Yahushai with. The same exact thing. He's offering him all the kingdoms of the world and all the glory. He said, I will give you all these things. It says right here, I give thee. So he's telling you, I'll give this to you. All you have to do, all you got to do is fall down and worship me. Do you know the average person here on this earth, they would fall down and worship Satan? If you put 10 people in a room, 9 gonna fail. All 10 might fail, really. You know, if you keep doing it, you put 10 in a room, all 10 will fail. You put 10 in a room, all 10 will fail. You put 10 in a room, all 10 will fail. Every once in a while, you might only get 9, but the average, you're going to get 10 out of 10. For all the stuff in this world, all the kingdoms, power, and authority, 100 million, man, I'm there. All I got to do is worship you, Satan. Go ahead.
The cold part about it is people do it every day for free.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're not even getting nothing out of it.
They do it for free.
They do it for free.
Doesn't matter.
Hey, so that's why I say a lot of them don't even get the 100 million. They don't even get the kingdoms because they're doing it for free. Then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan. Ahchyam, you deceiver. You can't give me nothing of this world. For it is written, thou shalt worship Yahawah thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. That's how you got to come at him. But it's not revealed to everybody. Everybody doesn't have this understanding. Everybody doesn't have it. And it's also written that our brothers and sisters, they wouldn't have it. That's why tomorrow they'll be going to that church for that heathen holiday. They'll have on their pink and purple and yellow, and it'll be Women's Day. And maybe they'll let a women get up and preach the service tomorrow. And, you know, all those things of heathens do. But it's not really their fault. It's what the Most High has already put on them. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. I got like 2 or 3 more, and then we're going to close out. So just ride with me. We almost there. We almost there. We almost done for the day. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 7. And I'm reading it in the New Living Translation. For those who may not know, it's the NLT, New Living Translation. And I'm reading it for a purpose in the New Living.
2 Corinthians.
Chapter 3, verse 7. Now pay attention, please. Don't get lost. If you're there, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Just hold on. We almost there. I want you to get this before you walk away today. And it goes, the old way with the laws, right? That was stitched in stone, that was written with the finger of the Most High, led to death. Though it began with such glory that the people of Israel could not bear to look at Moses' face. For his face shined, it shone with the glory of the Most High, even though the brightness was already fading away. You know that story of Moses when he went in. He went up the mountain, come down. Every time he went in front of the Most High, but he started to wear a veil, right? Verse 8. Shouldn't we expect far greater glory under the new way, now that the Quadash Rakah is giving us life, the Holy Spirit? And if the old way, which brings condemnation, was glorious, how much more glorious is the new way, which maketh us right with the Most High? All praises again to the Most High YAHAWAH. Verse 10. What?
No, Big Bam Campbell, and put a boat. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, she was trying to figure out what the boat mean. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
What, is that coasting or?
Yeah, it could be. It could mean a lot of things, but he riding, he coasting, you know.
That's how I was like, maybe he coasting.
Verse 10. In fact, the first glory was not glorious at all compared to with the overwhelming glory of the new way. So if the old way, which has been replaced, was glorious, how much more glorious is the new, which remains forever? That's what we talking about. Big Bam Campbell, he said it earlier, right? We suffering, we long suffering. Why? Because we trying to get to the tree. We try to get to immortality, right? That's what we searching for. That's what we after. That's what we long for. That's what we waiting on. That's our faith. That's our promise that we're going to be with our brother. We'll never, ever, ever, ever die again, and we will live forever. That's why it says it which remains forever, right? Verse 12. Since this new way gives us such confidence, we can be very bold. Let's be bold. Ahchyam out there, Ahchwathyam, brothers and sisters, be bold in the faith. Stand tall. Don't be timid. Don't be faint-hearted. Somebody say, are you an Israelite? You believe? Yeah, I believe in the Most High from Genesis to Revelation, and I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes, right? And then you say what tribe you from. If you from Judah, you say Judah. You from Ephraim, you say Ephraim. You say Issachar, Issachar. Naphtali, wherever you from. Second Corinthians 3 and 13. We are not like Moses, who put a veil over his face so the people of Israel would not see the glory, even though it was going to fade away anyway. It was destined to fade away. But we don't hide our face. We let our glory show. Hey, I'm on this thing. I'm on this this internet. I'm on this platform, man, at least 5 times out of the week. And I'm plastered everywhere. I'm out on I don't do too much of the highways and byways no more, but I've been out there for years. But it ain't hard to find me. If you looking for me, it ain't hard to find me. I don't got no veil over my face. You see me every day. And he told us to be bold like that. Verse 14, but the people's minds were hardened. And to this day, whenever the Old Testament, the Old Covenant is being read, let me highlight that because I want you to see what I'm talking about. These people's minds are blinded. Those people in the church, those people in those congregations, some people in camps. And it says, and to this day, when the Old Testament is being read, the same veil covers their minds, so they cannot understand the truth. And this veil can, listen, this veil can be removed only by believing in Hamashiach Yahushua. So I believe last Shabbat, or was that Shabbat, or that was the first day of the week, where that brother, there was an Old Testament only brother jumped in.
That was the Shabbat.
Was that the Shabbat? And he was like, oh, this, Yahushua, yeah, this, that, third. I said, calm down, brother. Oh, no. Calm down, brother. And the reason I can say that is because I know that you don't understand. I know that you don't get it. The reason why is because the Most High has hardened your heart. He has blinded you. The only way you can get the full understanding and the totality of the whole word, it tells you right here that you have to believe in who? Hamashiach Yahushua, the anointed one, the one who laid his life down, got hung on the tree, shed his blood, pierced on the side, crown of thorns, spit on, beat, mocked, ridiculed, betrayed, all those things for us. And if you don't believe in him, then you'll never get it. You'll never understand it. Just because you read it and you're a part of something don't mean that you really understand the Bible. Because if you can't see that Hamashiach was there, like I told him that day from Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, then you don't have no idea what's going on in the Bible. Because it's not talking about the Most High in Genesis chapter 1. A lot of people think that, but it's not. It's talking about Hamashiach Yahushua. That's why it uses the word G-O-D, which is Elohim or Elohayim in Paleo Hebrew. And in that word, it means powers, which is plural. So it wasn't just one person. It was a multitude of things working. And that's why I use it the word G-O-D. It doesn't actually use the Father into Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. That's where you can see the all caps in L-O-R-D. If you go to the ancient writings, as that guy Huckleberry jumped in and was saying UH, he don't know what he talking about, but it's the Tetragrammaton, which is the YHWH that you will see in the ancient writings, and that's in Genesis, or better known as Bathsheba, depending on how you pronounce it, in Genesis. Or Bereshit, like I said, it depends on how you pronounce it. Are you doing modern? Are you doing paleo? You doing the Lashawan Kadash? But it's all pretty much the same. You know what we're talking about. But it says, but the people's minds were hardened. And to this day, whenever the old covenant is being read, the same veil covers their minds, so they cannot understand the truth. And this veil can be removed only by believing in Hamashiach Yahushua. Even, Salakia, yes, even today, May 9th, 2026. Like I told you, that church tomorrow is going to be full for that heathen holiday. It says, yes, even today, when they read Moses' writing, their hearts are covered with that veil. And they what? They do not understand. And that's why they can go to that church for 30, 20, 15 years. They can say that the law is done away with, that, hey, we don't even read the Old Testament because they can't understand it. Paul is letting you know. So I don't get upset no more. I used to take it to heart. It used to make me feel a certain way, like, why? I wanted to say to people, why can't you understand? But you have to understand people are not going to get it no matter who it is, your mama, your daddy, your son, your daughter, your coworker, your friend, your significant other. It does not matter. They're not going to get it unless the Most High reveals it to them. It's nothing you can do about it. It's nothing you can do about it. If the Most High didn't reveal it to them, they're never going to get it. Just be happy that you are part of elect, that you got it, and he revealed it to you. That's all you can do. And pray for them that the Most High may have mercy and he reveals it to them before they leave this earth. But all you can do is be happy that the Most High chose you as one of his elect. And now you submit to the authority of who? The Most High, who has revealed his word and his knowledge and understanding to you to live here on this earth until you get taken from here to go with all of your other brothers and sisters and wait for that judgment day of the resurrection, like it says in Revelations. The saints are waiting. They want to know, when can we, we ready. But they can't get let loose until what? That time is right. The number got to be right because everything is weighed in the balance. 16. But whenever someone turns to the Adon, Hamashiach Yahushai, the veil is taken away. So whenever they turn to Hamashiach Yahushai, if that brother that was on here last Shabbat and he turned to Hamashiach Yahushai and stopped being an Old Testament only brother, the veil will be taken away. For the Adon is Rakah, spirit, and who Salaki, and wherever the spirit of the Adon is, there is what? Freedom. And the reason it says that is because when you read John 8:31, let me show you real quick, there is freedom, right? Wherever he is, Hamashiach Yahushai, there is freedom. The reason it's freedom, when you go to John chapter 8, verse 31, he tells you, I'm gonna get it right here on the screen. John 8:31. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him. They had to believe on him first. And then the veil is being lifted. If you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed. And you shall know the what? Truth. Now you will understand and know the truth. And the truth shall make you what? Free. There it is there. There it is there. You have to submit to the authority of who? Our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahushai, and his father. And if you the part of the elect, then the veil will be lifted, and then you will come into the understanding. I already showed you in the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, 10 on down, that book, which we call the word of the Most High, is sealed to those other people. Having eyes they shall see or not see, and having ears they cannot hear. And you got to go hard for the Most High. You got to go hard for the Most High. Turn here with me. We getting ready to close out. Just give me a few more minutes. Turn here with me. 2 Maccabees chapter 7. 2 Maccabees chapter 7. And I'm not going to read this whole thing for time's sakes, as I'm saying. But I would encourage you to go back and read it if you have not read it. Very encouraging words. Very encouraging words. A mother and her sons that are submitted to the authority of the Most High Yahweh in totality, and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushai, in totality, all the way to the death. 7:1. 2 Maccabees chapter 7. We're going to start at verse 1. Once again, I'm not going to read this whole thing because I'm getting ready to close out, so it's not too long of a lesson today. But I will encourage you to read it for yourself. Let me get a little H2O. Hold on. Okay. Here it is. 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. And it came to pass also that the 7 brethren were with their mother, were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. Now, if anybody doesn't know the law, you can turn to Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7, and read that all the way down Matter of fact, let me just show it real quick. Just real quick. I'm going to just show it. And then we'll go right back there because I said it. You don't have to turn. You can stay right there. I'm going to just put it on the screen for those people that may watch it. Hey, who knows? 20 years from now, the Bible might not be around. They might take them all and burn them. So I want to show it. Leviticus 11:7. It says, and the swine, though it divideth the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet it cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. Then it goes into the things that you can eat out of the ocean, the waters and things like that, right? Now, with that being said, that's the law. So now let's go back to 2 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 7. So this is a problem for these people, that this king are making them to what? Eat swine's flesh. They tormented them, scourged them with whips. Verse 2. But one of them spake first, said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? What do you ask of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. So basically all he's saying, well, who do you think we are? What type of people do you think we are? Don't you know we are ready to die rather than to go against the Most High laws that was given to us in the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7 on down? Are you crazy? I would rather die than go against the Most High laws. It says in 3, then the king being enraged commanded his pans and these big pots to be made hot. So what, they gonna throw them in a pot, a boiling pot of water, and in a pan? Verse 4, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first. So when he said that, the king got mad and said, listen, cut his tongue out, and to cut off the uttermost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. Imagine a mother. We got sisters in here. Imagine you watching your son get his tongue cut off, and then other parts of his body being cut off in front of you. How much would that hurt you as seeing that torture and torment done to your son? Verse 5. Now when he was thus maimed and all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fired in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another, one with the mother, to die manfully, saying thus. This is what they were saying. When they seen what happened to their brother, they turned around to each other, plus the mother, the rest of the brothers and the mother. And this is what they said. YAHAWAH, the Almighty, looketh upon us, and in the truth have comfort us. Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead, after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with his hairs, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of their body? So after they pulled off the skin of his head that was still attached with the hair, they said, hey, are you going to eat that swine flesh now? Let's see what he says in verse 8. But he answered in his own language, in the Hebrew language, because these were Greeks. You got to remember, these were Greeks doing this, not the Romans yet. These were Greeks. He answered in his own language, in the Hebrew language, and said, no, I'm not going to eat that swine flesh. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did. And when he was at his last breath, the last little grasp of air, Listen to what he said. This is the last thing he said before he gave up the ghost, before he died. Thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall rise up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. Who is he talking about?
Raise us up.
Yeah, raise us up, Salakia. Who is he talking about? After him was the third made a mocking stock. And when he was required, he put out his tongue. So he came and stuck his tongue out. They wasn't scared. They wasn't timid. They didn't tuck tail. They were bold, as we're told to be. And that right soon holding forth his hands manfully and said courageously, courageously, these I have from the Shemayim, and for his laws I despise them. And from him I hope to receive them again, insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. He didn't care about the pain. He didn't care about the torment. These Greeks, they marveled at the courage that he had. It was what all brothers, one by one, and none of them turned, ran, timid. None of them said, give me the swine's flesh, give me the pig, give me the pork chop, give me the hog maw. I'll eat it. Give me the honey baked ham. I'll eat it. No. They got their tongues cut off, fingers, hands, feet. They put them in boiling water, a skillet. Verse 13. Now when this man was dead, also they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. They going from brother to brother to brother, putting them all to death. But before they put them to death, they're tormenting them. So one will fall. This is Satan. This is Ahchyam. He wants them, remember I already read it in Matthew 4, he wants them to do what? Bow down and worship him. And he thinks by tormenting them that they're going to fall. But they have more faith. They submitted to the authority of the Most High. And this is that cup. This is that cup that Big Bam Campbell was talking about earlier. That suffering. This is what they signed up for. So you have to know this is what you signed up for. If you say you're a believer in the Most High and his only begotten Son, are you willing to go to this extent? So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good. It is good. This is what he said. It is good being put to death by man, to look for hope from the Most High, to what? Be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. This is what he's telling the Greek man. This is what he's telling the Greek. You won't have no resurrection to life. Afterward, they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, thou hast power over man. Thou art corruptible. Thou doest what thou wilt. Yet think not that our people, our nation of people, is forsaking the Most High. Don't think that we gonna forsake. Don't think that the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, is gonna forsake the Most High. We would rather die than forsake the Most High. Verse 17, it says, but abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. Not only will the Most High torment the Greeks, but he's going to torment thy seed, meaning your descendants after you. And some of those descendants are still alive to today. Matter of fact, all of them are still alive, the ones that had children. Verse 18, I'm going to stop in a minute. Verse 18, it says, After him also they brought the 6, who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our power. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. But think not thou that thou takest in hand to strive against the Most High, that thou shalt escape unpunished. Don't think you're going to get away with what you're doing. But the mother was marvelous above all. She had the most faith. Now, you see how she raised her sons, but she had the most faith, it says, and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons being killed within the space of one day, imagine all your children dying and one being murdered the same day. The same day. She bare it with a good courage because of the hope that she had in Yahawah. Yeah, she exhorted every one of them in her own language. They speak in Hebrew, filled with the courageous Rakah spirit and stirring up her womanish. This is for the sisters, the Ahchwathyam out there. Stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came to my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life. Talking about the children that she bare. She don't know how they formed in the body, in her womb. She didn't give them breath or life. Neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you, but doubtless the Creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again. They speaking about the resurrection. As ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. Now Antiochus is thinking of himself despised. I'm going to just stop, okay? I'm going to start right there because I end up reading the whole thing. But listen. The whole moral of the story is that they submitted to the authority of the Most High. They took it all the way to the death. Not only just death, but they were mutilated. They were set on fire. They were burned. They were put in pots with boiling water. And all of his brothers, all 7 of them and the mother died that day. And none of them took tail and ran. None of them were they all stood 10 toes down. They all submitted to the authority and drank from the cup that the Most High presented them with that day. And believe you me, as they quoted here, they will be highly, highly esteemed in the kingdom because they didn't do anything but stand up for the law of the Most High, and they did not eat that swine's flesh. Since we in this already, I'm going to turn real quick to the book of Ecclesiastic Us as I go out, chapter 43. So I just want my brothers and sisters to understand what it means to break of that bread of the body, especially on Passover, and drink out of that cup of that wine, which is really Hamashiach Yahushai's body and his blood. And when you drink of that cup, this is what you're signing up for. But a lot of people don't know that. Like I say, they definitely don't teach this in the church. Definitely. They won't preach about none of this tomorrow. Because half of them people will walk out and leave. Well, you mean my tongue might get cut off? They're going to pull my skin off of my body? Are you? No. No, I don't believe. No, I don't believe. I want my Cadillac. I like my house. I like having my hair on my head. So chapter 43, the book of Ecclesiastic Us, or better known as the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 30. And I'm just going to go straight to verse 30. And this is what it says. When you glorify Yahweh, exalt him as much as ye can. For even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength. And be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. You can never go far enough for the Most High. And you remember that. Even all that they did, when you seen them do that, when you read what our brothers and sisters went through, getting their tongues cut off, getting their skin pulled from their body, being cast into the fire, being hung upside down, our brother being hung from a tree, pierced on the side, crown full of thorns, beat, whipped, scourged. The Most High says, you exalt me, you can never go far enough. So when you submit yourself to his authority, when you take of this cup, this is what it entails. But all the things that you receive, I mean, like I read earlier, we can't even fathom the kingdom. We can't even think what it's going to be like, the bodies we have, the things that we can't even, you know. But anyway, hopefully this message was edifying for you. If you believe that it was edifying, please, like I say, share this message. And this is why we do these things for the ministry, so that this word goes out to edify the people. Some of them might be blind, but who knows? This may be the message that you sent them that day, and the Most High takes the veil off and it reveals it to them. Who knows? You know, who knows? It may be. But we just continue to do the work, put our brick in, and do what we're supposed to do here. So just know what it means to submit to the authority of the Most High Yahawah and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushai. If anybody got anything they want me to share or bring out before we close out, put it in the chat. Other than that, we say Kwam Yasharallah, Shalawam, peace and blessings to everybody out there. May you have a beautiful rest of your Shabbat day. Enjoy it. Beautiful weather out here on the West Coast. I'm not sure how it is over in the East or the Midwest, you know, or the South. But enjoy the rest of the Shabbat. It's a rest day, man. So just enjoy it. I'm going to try to go live again, Yahawah willing, tomorrow, if things permit me. If not, definitely Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. And Yahawah willing, next Shabbat, tune in. Once again, the water for everybody being here. Let me see. Let me see. Aqua Dorothy said, Khan, they were strong people. Khan, very strong. A mother and her 7 sons. That's why I encourage people to go back and read this book of 2nd Maccabees, especially chapter 7, but all of it. They were very strong people. So I encourage you, if you don't have it, get you a 1611 King James Bible and read the book of 2nd Maccabees. Mayana Pasha, she says they were faithful servants. Khan. Dorothy, she says, Khan says faithful to the end, all the way to the end. The Aqua Dorothy also says, Khan, they would run the preacher out of there. They want to hear about prosperity. That's all they want today. And that's why the church is to be filled tomorrow on the heathen holiday, because that's what they want. They want to leave with that prosperity, you know, and the preacher going to give them that tomorrow because that's his job. That's his job. That's his duty, you know. So, Khan. But all praises be to the Most High, Yahawah, for all those that are tuned in here today that received the true word from on high, from the Most High, through the Rakah, through the Spirit. It's not me. I'm just a fleshly vessel that you see. But believe me, if I did not have the Rakah, the Spirit of life within me, I could not deliver this message. I could not do it. I would be blinded. So all praises be to the Most High that he has given us this information and it came down from on high. All praises be to him and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushai. Without them, we would be nothing. Without Hamashiach shedding his blood, being hanged from that tree, going through everything he went through, being betrayed, and drank from that cup, we wouldn't be here. We would just be lost. So the water. And the water, all the Ahchyam, all of the brethren, all of the sisters that tuned in is here on the Shabbat, the water. I can't say enough. The Timothy says, thank you, sisters and brothers. Like I say, all the way from Baltimore, Maryland in the building. The Aqua Dorothy says, Kwam Yasharallah. And for those who may not know what Kwam Yasharallah means, it means arise, Israel, right? That's what we said. Come up. Don't stay at that bottom stage. Arise up. Come up. Be who you are. Like I said, stop using that language that we read in Exodus 23 and 13. You got to get out of that. I showed you what it means when you say Lord, Baal. I showed it. Watch the lesson. You got to get out of that. That's in Exodus 23 and 13. That's a commandment, not from me, but from the Most High. Big Bam Campbell. He says, dearly beloved, till next class. Khan, all praises. Tawada, Big Bam Campbell, Tawada. Like I say, I'm going to try to do tomorrow. I got a lot to do, but hopefully Yahawah willing. It might be a little later, but I definitely want to get it in, you know. So tune in if you get that alert. Timothy says, very nice weather in Baltimore, 6 to 67 degrees. A little rain earlier, you know, calm. We like it in the 90s out here. It's scorching. Yesterday it was like 100 degrees. Jason Moore 77 says, Kwam Yasharallah, all praises. And then Timothy says, I will go and listen from the beginning later, fam, Khan. Yeah, for anybody who came in at a later time, please go to the beginning and watch the whole thing so you can get the complete understanding of the whole lesson. I know it's kind of long, 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I encourage you, get you a pen, paper, write those things down. You can go back to yourself and study them your own self. So I encourage you, please, if you had the time, go back, watch the whole lesson, please. With that, I'm going to play that video that I played coming in about what us as a people are going through, and I'm going to close out with that. Remember, when you drink of that cup, these are some of the things that we're going to go through, right? So all praises be to the Most High. I'm going to leave off with this. I'll see you tomorrow around 6 or 7 p.m. my time, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and the Shabbat. Enjoy this. The link for the song is in the description box. If you like it, you can click on it and go from there. Once again, Shabbat Shalawam and Kwam Yasharallah.
They say I lost everything, but they don't know what I gained. Let's talk. Yeah. Lost my wife, lost my kids, lost the crib. Bank account zeroed out. Yeah, it did. Credit shot. Phone ring stress every day. Doctor talking like my health, my faith. Praying disappear when the bread ran low. Land gone too, yeah, the soil I know. Sleeves are nice, tears falling prayer. Only thing left with the most high there. Stripped down bed, couldn't hide no pride. When he took it all, yeah, he stood me aside. Thought I was cursed, thought I took a feet. Didn't know Lord with the seat of my feet. They call me lost, but I found his face. Lost the world, gained amazing grace. What I dropped made room for him. When I lost it all, then when I win. They say I'm broke, say I took some loss. But I'm rich in faith, count no loss. I lost a lie, I gained the truth. They call it loss, I call it proof. Yeah, lost comfort, lost that ease, lost fake love, lost false peace, lost the hustle that fed my sin, lost my plans and had to let them in. When the pride fell, I stood alone. He rebuilt me bone by bone. Learn obedience in the pain. Learn real profit don't come from gain. Every tear water, faith inside. Every note pushed me closer line. They seen failure, I seen correction. Losing, stripping for resurrection. Resurrection. They call me lost, but I found his face. Lost the world, gained amazing grace. What I dropped made room for him. When I lost it all, that's when I win. They say I'm broke, say I took them lost. But I'm rich in faith, count no loss. I lost a lot, I gained the truth. They call it loss, I call it proof. Y'all lost it all, but still stood tall. Daniel prayed when they built that wall. Israel fell just to rise again. Refined in fire, not punishment. What he takes, he replaces better. Eternal weight over things that weather. If he stripped me, it would love. Teaching me to look above. Now I walk lighter, no chains on me. No white left, just clarity. Hell still healing, pocket still thin. But my spirit strong, yeah, I'm locked in. I lost fear, I lost doubt. Lost the need for cloud and crowds. Gain wisdom, gain discernment, gain patience, gain endurance. What I lost couldn't save my soul. What I gained, give myself control. So if this the cause to wear that crown, let me lose it all right now. Call me lost, but I found my place. In his will, in his grace.
Sometimes God got to take everything so you can finally receive something real.